Hello movie lovers, welcome back to another video. Welcome to another episode of our movie reviews with me, your girl, That Cuban Girl. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my thoughts on the newest film, The Sound of Freedom.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom.
Felt good.
You have been at this for 12 years.
My country, 'tis of thee.
Why are you doing it?
Sweet land of liberty.
Because God's children are not for sale.
This is a 2023 film directed by Alejandro Monteverde and starring Jim Caviezel. One of the things that really caught my attention and the reason why I wanted to do a video on this film more than anything, more than reviewing the film, more than talking about technicalities on cinematography or all that other stuff, I wanted to do it because it's a film that deserves to be shared. This is a story about children trafficking, and this is something that it is a big reality in our world today. It is a big reality in the United States, and it's something that is not talked about as much as it should be talked about. And one of the things that I loved about this film is the vulnerability that it brought to us, the audience. I love the fact that you can see the love and the passion behind this film. And yes, a lot of films have a lot of passion behind them, but I think when it's about a film that talks about a cause, a problem, an issue that really concerns us all, that is a whole different thing. Based on a true story, The Sound of Freedom embarks on a journey of Agent Tim Ballard, who goes on the search for these missing two siblings who get kidnapped and trafficked in Colombia. It is a true story that unfortunately involves a former Miss Cartagena from Colombia, a former beauty queen who was actually the one using her title and her power in Colombia to recruit kids to a modeling agency that unfortunately she was hiding behind in order to use them for human trafficking. This story really touched me because I personally cannot understand or comprehend how somebody could use a title of being a beauty pageant to do something so cold and heartless for money. So with that said, I am going to go over the things that I loved about this movie. And I do have to tell you and let you know that I loved everything about this film. It's not just because of the story. It's also because it truly was well made. When you watch this film, it doesn't take you long to realize that everything was done exquisitely. I loved how well the story was told. And also one of my favorite things about this is that, if I'm being completely honest, I almost didn't want to go watch it because things like this, I am very sensitive to. So when I watched the trailer and I realized what this story was about, my first thought was, oh gosh, we're in 2023. This is gonna be super graphic. I don't want to see anything happen to these kids. I don't want to feel traumatized forever. And to my surprise, when I went and I watched it, I realized how tastefully made it was done. You see and you know what's happening, but they don't show you what's happening. And I truly appreciated that because I am a huge believer that I don't care what year we're on. I don't think that stories like that need to be told in very graphic ways. And this is something that I will always stand by and stand behind, in my opinion, when it comes to film. I love the artistry of storytelling, but I don't think we need to show people hurting people or people being despicable to other people in order to convey our story. So this is one thing that I truly appreciated about the cinematography of this film and the way that the story was told. It was very tastefully made. Of course, the performances were amazing, so believable. The job that these two little kids, these siblings did was exquisite. It was just fantastic. Sometimes I think to myself, how can kids act the way they act and be so good at it? Because these kids truly were so amazing. I love that Jim Caviezel, just the way that he performs, the way that his eyes tell a story, the way that he's able to take us through a journey. I truly love that. Something that I'm very proud about is that one of my favorite characters in the film is actually a fellow Cuban actress, and her name is Jessica Borroto. I posted her on one of my stories. I posted the movie, and she was so kind to DM me back and repost me back, and she's amazing. And I love seeing my Cubans and my Latinos representing. She's actually the one that plays the role of the Miss Cartagena. And this story, more than anything, it's about the kids. This story, more than anything, is about telling the story of an issue that we all face. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't care until it's too late, until somebody we know or somebody close to us goes through this. And so that is the main reason I wanted to create this video about this film. It's simply to help them raise awareness about this issue that is happening. This movie took them 5 years to make. They came across a lot of roadblocks and they had to be independently funded. And that speaks volumes on these filmmakers. I always say it on here, my favorite era for movies is the 1990s and very early 2000s. And the reason for this is because, in my opinion, those were the times with the best stories. However, The Sound of Freedom now joins that list because somehow they were able to bring the true artistry of filmmaking, of storytelling, in a way that is very much similar to the stories that we used to watch back in the 1990s, in my opinion. And I personally truly love that. I love the fact that they're having such an amazing opening month with this film. I love that they are breaking records right now in the box office. This makes me really, really happy. And before I go, I just want to say thank you so much for making this film, because as a Latina, as a woman, as a former beauty queen, I really appreciated the fact that stories like this are told, because a lot of times in countries like ours, these stories are absolutely not told. And also, I want to say thank you so much to the entire cast and crew and producing team for keeping the authenticity of the film. This is a film that, when it came to the music, to the cinematography, to the location, it is absolutely stunning and absolutely authentic. And to me, that truly is what makes a film great. When we tell stories, let's make sure that they're authentic. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching this. And if you have not yet seen the film, The Sound of Freedom, it is still out in theaters. So I highly recommend that you go check it out for yourself. And make sure that you stay until 3 minutes after the credits, because there's a very special message after the film by Jim Caviezel that you don't want to miss. So thank you, hello movie lovers, for sticking around. I will see you in next week's video. I love you so much. Ciao.